Hi guys, Brad Baker here. I'm going to show you what it takes to transfer a motocross bike into a competitive flat track race bike on behalf of Western Flat Track. As you can see here, this is a brand new 2018 CRF 450 and it's the way it comes from the dealership. Over here, I'm going to introduce you to my good friend, Nick Slater. Nick, what's going on, brother? This is a 2003 CRF 450. This motorcycle is essentially, Nick, you bought this bike for what? How much you bought this bike for?
I bought it for $1,500.
Yep.
Didn't even know what flat track was at the time. Heard about it actually through Feel Like Pro Dirt. Looked into it, saw it wasn't very expensive to get into, and went from there.
What all did you do to set this motorcycle up for flat track? I see that you have your old motocross set up here, and we see that it has 19-inch wheels with dirt track tires on it, and it's lowered down a little bit. But you still ride this thing a little bit of dirt riding and
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Ride it for flat track on the weekends and swap it back over and ride a little bit of motocross as well, huh?
Yeah.
It's awesome. To get into this, I mean, what you just think, $2,000 or so that you have into suspension and wheels?
Yeah, it was about $1,000 to get the rear shock and the front forks built, and then about another $1,200 for the wheels, and slapped some tires on her and went racing.
That's about as easy as it gets, really. I mean, number one thing is it's lowered down. The overall height of the motorcycle is probably about 3 inches lower than what it is at standard motocross height. Another big thing that has changed is spring rate and valving. Usually for dirt track, you set the motorcycle up a little bit stiffer. Obviously on motocross, you're landing from big jumps and there's a lot of bumps, so you need more of a plush ride to be able to land off that stuff. But for us, it's more speed and keeping the motorcycle planted to the ground. Safety items that you can do to pass tech inspection at the races. First thing would be a recovery bottle for your overflow for the radiator. You would just take the overflow hose and run it into a safety bottle. Second thing would be safety wiring your fill and drain plugs for the oil, just so if it does come loose, it won't come completely out. Last thing would be covering up any leading edges that might get into another rider. For wheels and tires, the one main distinct difference is on the front, we run a 19. Main thing for running a 19 on the front is smaller the wheel, it turns a little bit quicker, so running the 19 on the front makes turning a little bit better for flat track. Also evens out the ride height. In the rear, if you wanted to, you could just run the standard 19 with the skinnier rim, but for more performance, it would be smart to go to a little bit wider rim. Really, all you gotta do is change the front, and if you want to go to a more advanced level, you go to a little bit wider one in the rear as well. A lot of people don't get into something because they don't think they can afford it. So we're trying, gotta make it look like it is affordable, and it's affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, just depends on what level you really want to do it at. And then, really, the cool thing about flat track is that you're competitive even with an older motorcycle. You don't have to have a brand new motorcycle. Obviously, newer bike, it's cool. And make a little bit more power, maybe not have to replace as many parts on it, kind of like a used vehicle. You get the new bike, you get the new car, you don't have to go to the dealership, you just go to the dealership when something happens. One of these you got to take care of yourself, but it's still a good bike and plenty competitive.